Okay, hello, Autumn. I am taking a look now at your rough draft from week 5. And so let's see how you've done here. So, um, formatting here looks good. This part looks good. Now the title should be centered and it shouldn't be this excess spacing here. It should all be double spaced, which by the way, this is all should be double spaced too. Also, I'm not sure why. So all of your assignments have you put your assignments all in bold like this, and it really should not be that way. So what you need to do is you just need to highlight and remove bold from all of this paper. Highlight the whole thing. So you can just go to if you wanted to, you could go up here to select. Um, then you could hit select all, and then you could just go over here and just hit bold twice, and that way it would remove the bold. See, so do that. Delete this so that that's in there. Hit center. Put your cursor here and go up here and hit the center to put your center there, or center your paper there. And also, for the final draft, you're going to want to come up with a title that's a little bit more indicative of what your overall project is about, right? So the analysis, like something like analysis of such and such article or whatever. Um, so you want to have that be a little bit more creative. Also, you want to make sure you double space everything. Um, and that's just a matter of highlighting the whole paper and then going up here and clicking on this and changing it to double space. Okay, point 2.0. So, fix all those things to get your formatting right. Now, the paper itself, um, listen to how this sounds. Have you ever experienced some sort of stress in your life? I'm sure you have, but I hope you're currently doing well, as these things can have consequences. Overviewing this topic, I get this topic of mental health and or stress could be boring. So the writing is kind of almost like a stream of consciousness. It's almost like you're just writing things down as you think of them, rather than really trying to put it into a good solid format of a thesis, or I mean of an essay. So you want to go back and you want to reread what you've written and think about how you can write it so that it flows a little bit better. And this is why I keep harping on the exemplars, because the exemplar, if you bring the exemplar up and alongside of this, you'll be able to see the exemplar shows you how to do a good job of writing this. It shows you how to piece it all together, how to write in a flowing manner. So the exemplar is absolutely required. You have to use the exemplar. And I don't think that you've used the exemplar based on the way you've written your assignments throughout the whole term so far. So you've got to make sure you use that exemplar for your final project, if nothing else. Okay? Excuse me. But you got to work on the wording. You got to work on how you incorporate some of the sources in here. Um, the exemplar shows you all this, so I'm not going to try to go through and tell you every little thing that you need to fix, because the exemplar will show you how to do all this and fix this. So you just got to make sure that you use that exemplar in order to create a great final product. Okay, this one is somewhat too brief. It should have, again, just follow the exemplar. There's nothing that I can tell you more important than just to make sure you actually use the exemplar. And then your works cited page needs formatted. It looks to me like it's all centered, which it should not be. It should be left margin justified with hanging indent. And the way you would fix that would just be to go up here and see how this is showing it's centered. You just change that to left margin. And that's not quite far enough even to be the left margin, so we'll go back that far even. Hit the backspace. And then what you have to do is, once you have that, uh, you should also have, um, for this paper, you should have more than just, uh, well, never mind what I was going to say there. Just forget about that. What you need to do is you just need to if you put your cursor there, and what you have to do first of all is you have to hit, double spacing, so that moves down to double spacing. So that was up here. Click on that, hit 2.0. And then what you do is you keep your cursor there and you just hit the control and the letter T, and that automatically tabs it in for you. Okay, so if this has a URL, you would have to, actually you don't even have a works cited here. You just simply created like a sample of how to do a works cited with the author's last name, first name, so forth. So you need to actually put a source in here. Okay, you need to actually put a citation in here from Nicole Pelusi's article. So that's actually needs completely fixed. All right, so fix that. And then once you have fixed all these things, of course, you will you're welcome to resubmit it to me or email it to me so I can give you more feedback on it. Or you can just make sure that it's correctly done for the final project that you're going to do, because the final project will be two parts. The first part of it will be this rough draft that you've done for this particular audience here. And that's another thing you got to do, is you got to make sure you're focusing this on a specific audience that you chose to write to. Okay. And it can't be the same audience that Nicole Pelusi's article was addressed to. So in other words, it can't be to seniors. It needs to be to some other group that you think could equally benefit from the article. So you have a fair amount of work to get this fixed. You also need to make sure you have page numbering up here on the top right. The way to do that is double click up here in the top header here, and it changes to this. Double click it, and then use this page numbering tool. And you click on the page number, it'll say top of page. You go down and you pick plain number 3, and then you put your last name here in front of it, and a space, and then you go back down here and double click anywhere, and that's automatically page numbers for you, see. Okay, so you got to do all these things, make sure it all looks good, make sure it's all double spaced, fix everything I've noted here, and then, like I said, you can resubmit it to me or email it to me if you want me to give you more feedback on it, or you could just save it and make sure it's all great for the final project. Okay, the final project, like I said, will be two parts. This part that you did here, and then it'll also be the second part, which will be a rewriting of this to fit a different second audience. Okay, so any questions or anything, as always, just let me know.